Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Happy August. Welcome to episode 7 of the Flow Show. Today we're talking about crushing procrastination to get shit done. Say hi in the comments to let me know that you are here. Let me know if you can hear and see me okay. And we will go ahead and get into it. It's a brand new month. We have 5 months left in 2020. Most of us started with a vision to make 2020 the best year ever. And for some of us, it didn't turn out quite the way we had planned or thought it would. But it's not too late. It's not too late to get back on track, to finish what you started, or to at least get most of what you started done. Hi, Sharonda. We want to commit to getting those things done that we started. Look at our goals, look at our vision boards. Wherever you put your goals and the things that you had planned for 2020, pull that out again, dust it off. Let's get into it. Let's get productive. If you've been looking at your goals all along and you've just been procrastinating, then we're going to jump into that today and see what we need to do to get things done, to take care of all the stuff that we need to get done. We know that procrastination, for me, it's a really big thing, and I'll admit to that. I'm a student of the things that I'm teaching you guys, and that's one of the reasons why we're dealing with procrastination and time management this month. We may only cover procrastination this month. We may get into time management next month. If I can squeeze them both in this month, then we'll do that. They kind of go hand in hand. But for me, procrastination is the enemy of productivity. And that's something that I really need to tackle. And to be quite honest, part tech issues and part just procrastinating, working. I knew what I was going to teach this month. I knew what I was going to teach today, but I didn't get started on the lesson until last night. And just so happens the tech gremlins, a combination of tech gremlins and my mind, with it being so late at night, got in the way. So I put it aside, went to bed, and then got up with a fresh perspective this morning, and then was able to go ahead and put together my notes for today's training. One of the things that we're doing personally to battle procrastination, not just in our business, but in our personal lives, because I believe that there's a correlation. If you're not getting things done that you want to do in your personal life, then they'll get in the way of your business, because you always have that thing, something to pull you away from what you really need to get done in your business, to go and do in your personal life. And so we picked up a book called The $1 Million Day. And basically what this book um, is imagine if someone gave you $1 million to get accomplished all the things that you said you were going to accomplish over your lifetime or over your adulthood, but you've been putting it off. Imagine that somebody gave you $1 million to spend one day getting those things done. What would you do and how much would you accomplish? So this month, we're going to go through this book and then look at, planning our $1 million day, and look at getting things done that we really, really need to get done in our personal life, so that we can clear out all of that clutter, the things that keep us, thinking, oh, I need to go and do this. And then we can focus on the things that are really, really important to us, the things in our business that we need to get done before the end of 2020. And so this starts with breaking our old habits, because that's really what it is. We get in the habit of doing things that aren't really helpful to us. I'm sure I'm not the only one who gets up in the morning. It's not the first thing I do. I don't really look at my phone until I'm out of my room, but get on Facebook, check email. Those are all habits that really keep us from doing the things that we need to do. So we need to look at breaking old habits and creating new habits. And, just like I said, one of my worst habits is waiting until the last minute. And I've told myself, and it may be true because I know a lot of other people have said this too, but I feel like I get my best work done when I'm under time pressure. When I'm under a deadline and it's close to that deadline, I feel like I get my best work done. But I really believe that I could do just as good a job or maybe even better because I have more time to commit, more time to research if it calls for research. I could do a better job if I spent that time focused and being intentional about my projects or the tasks that I have to work on. So let me know in the comments, what is one of your not so good for productivity habits? What is one of the things that you find yourself doing over and over again that keeps you from getting your work done? The things, something that your procrastination vice. Just let me know in the comments, and don't be shy to admit it. But for me, what I found that really helps me is to just start. No matter how much I say I don't want to do it, or if I feel like I have something better I can do, I found that if I just start, I'll get into it. Just like I'm working on a training right now for my client acquisition system. Um, at the end of the day, it's going to end up being a 45-minute training. But when you're working on something like that, it takes hours just to produce that 45 minutes. If you've ever recorded or edited a video, you know that it can take 2 hours to produce a 10-minute video. And so this project that I'm working on, I just started it. I started the other day, and once I did, I really enjoyed working on it. So I found that when I feel myself procrastinating, to just start, get in there and do it and get it over with. And one of the funniest things, and really it's not a good thing, have you ever had something that you really wanted to do or that you really needed to do, and you put it off and you dreaded doing it, but when you got into the task and actually doing it, it only took you 10 or 15 minutes to do it. And so you spent hours and hours procrastinating on something that you could have done and gotten it over with and then moved on to the next thing. I know I'm not the only one. And Sharonda said that her procrastination issue, or one of her challenges, is over researching something, not starting, and feeling like you need more information. That's analysis paralysis. You spend so much time analyzing and not actually getting into doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. Because one of the things is, just like Jody said, second guessing myself, because you're wondering, is this the right thing? Do I have everything that I need to get started? Or basically telling yourself that you don't. Rabbit holes, Fernell said, research rabbit holes. And that's a big thing for all of us, especially if you're doing your research on the internet, because you and I know I'm guilty of this. You are looking for one thing, and 5 minutes later you're way off on something else that you weren't even interested in. Are you looking at cat videos on YouTube, or looking at somebody doing their natural hair or their makeup? That's, for me, one of my things that I'm guilty of. I will even open YouTube to look for something, and I have all these recommendations, and I can totally forget what it was that I was going to do, and get lost in that rabbit hole. So it's good to know that I am not alone. So thank you all for admitting that. Today we're going to talk about some habits, good habits that we can develop to help us to try to battle that, crush procrastination, and get the things done that we need to get done. So nothing I share with you today is going to be new or profound. It's something that we've heard over and over a million times before, from our parents, from our teachers, from other business coaches or advisors or other successful business owners. We've heard it all before, but hearing and doing are not the same thing. If it were, we'd all have billion-dollar companies today. So, this is just a refresher or a reminder today. So, we're going to take a look at some of the best habits that we can develop to help us get things done. And so, whether you are looking to do more in the same amount of time, the time that we have, because we all have the same 24 hours, or whether you just need motivation to get stuff done, or if you're looking to reduce the amount of time that you are wasting in a day, these habits will help us get there, forming these new habits. And you want to not just take these notes and then say, okay, I'm going to do this today. You want to try to spend 21 to 30 days on these habits. And if you don't want to do it all at once, pick one habit and commit to doing it for the next 21 to 30 days. So just let me know in the comments if you are going to first admit to wasting time every day, whether it's on the internet or off, and then you're going to commit to taking one of these habits and implementing it into your day to day so that you can start getting more done. So one of the things is keeping your desk or your work area decluttered. Um, and I know this is something that people say all the time. I've said it before, but how many times have you heard that having a cluttered workspace or whatever helps me to be more creative? And that may be true for some people, but another way to look at it is that it's an invitation to procrastination. Say like this book that I just showed you. If I leave this book on my desk and I have a project that I am working on or that's on my list of things to do, this book is an easy distraction for me. I can pick it up and say, well, let me just read a few pages of this book and then I'll get started on that later. So keeping your desk free of clutter, basically just the things you need, your pens, your computer, or whatever. Maybe even a notepad for when you get those ideas or when you are tempted to go down a rabbit hole. Write it down and do it later. So keeping your work area clean is a way to help you to avoid procrastination. And the same is true of your computer. When you're on your computers, I've seen people who have more than 50 tabs. I don't even know how that's possible, but have multiple tabs open and multiple programs open, and you're switching back and forth. For me, it's my email. I have two different main email accounts, and I will just click through the tabs, sometimes unconsciously, and then I'll see an email and feel like that's something that I need to look at. But having all of the tabs open, having social media open, those are things that are big distractions and that keep us from doing the things that we need to do. And speaking of email, scheduling a time to actually read your email is something that would be helpful. One of the things, the projects that we are looking at implementing in our systems and our processes is a system called Inbox Zero. And one of the keys to Inbox Zero is scheduling time to read your email. And they suggest when you go to take a restroom break, when you come back, check your email, and then they have a few steps that you follow to keep you from getting lost in your email and keep you from wasting time on your email. So instead of just checking your email throughout the day and feeling like you have to respond right away, just go ahead and you can either schedule a time on your calendar for when you're going to check your email and your DMs and all of the things that show up in your inbox, and you can schedule a time or use your restroom breaks for that. So don't feel like you have to answer every email, every DM that comes in, every social media notification that you get. Don't feel like you have to apply immediately because it can wait. If there was an emergency, if somebody had an emergency, they would let you know that it was an emergency. So don't feel obligated to respond to everything that comes your way right away. And one of the things that I found in researching or preparing for today's training is that when we are trying to monitor our emails or we're bouncing back and forth between different tasks, that it lowers our memory function. And I can see how that can be because if we have a set schedule, we have to remember to go and do our things on a scheduled time, or you can just have it on a calendar. But it lowers your memory function because you're not really using your memory as much. And it also, one of the things that I also found was that it can cause depression, anxiety, and lower our performance. So I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not a psychologist, but those are things that you might want to research on your own time to see how something like this can affect that part of your life. So if email is a big part of your business, for most of us, or for a lot of us, it's really not that major. But for some businesses, you have customer service, you are working on major contracts, you have a lot of clients or vendors that you're interacting with. If it's a big part of your business, then you might want to set an autoresponder or an auto reply so that when an email comes in, you can let people know that you reply to your emails at a certain time of day. So whether that's 10 a.m., 12, 3 o'clock, just let them know when they can expect to hear back from you. And that there may be times when you have to stop and reply right away, but that's rare. And I mean, it's a few instances where everything requires an urgent response. This one is something that was hard for me, and Sharonda, she can probably attest to this because they used to joke with me all the time. But get up early. Um, we have people who claim to be night owls or people who claim to be early birds. Let me know in the comments which one you are. Are you a self-proclaimed night owl or are you an early bird? But either way, it's usually a matter of habit. How you spend your days is usually a matter of habit. Now, I will caveat this and say that there's a concept I teach in my program about biological and mechanical prime time. And basically, I won't get into it, but basically, that means that there are certain times a day when you are most energetic and most productive, and you need to take advantage of those times. I tend to get in my zone at night, but I wanted to make a change, and I found that by changing my habits to start my days earlier, and going to sleep at night, that I could do what I really needed to do if I focused on it and made it a habit. So I try to get up a little bit earlier. It's a struggle. But I am getting up before 9 o'clock, and then I try to go to sleep in the same day that I woke up. Most nights we don't do that, but we are going to sleep before 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning because that used to be a habit for us. So if you are a self-proclaimed night owl, I'm not saying that you have to change the habit, but if you want to get more done, when you get up early, it allows you to have more time to plan your day, so that once you do get into your day, you already know, you're already focused, you're already intentional, and you know what it is that you need to get done. So you get up early, you can start to create or develop a morning routine, whether that's reading, journaling, exercising. For me right now, is just getting up and having my coffee and having that alone time. I may check out Facebook, or I may read a book, spend an hour or so reading a book or meditation, whatever it is that you need to get you focused and not thinking about, oh my gosh, I need to go back to bed. Just have a morning routine that will help you to improve your productivity and to get going, get your day started. The next thing is focusing on what's important. And for me, and most of these things, like I said, today I am also a student. because I've dealt with this and I deal with it on a daily basis. But you want to, like I said, with your morning routine, it gives you a chance to look at what's going on or what you have planned so that you can focus on that and you can be intentional. So take 5 minutes in the morning, look over your goals so that you can remind yourself of what it is that you're working towards. And this will help you to focus on what's important and give you an opportunity to create your to-do list so that you can get those things done that you need to get done first. So um, when you have a to-do list, and we're going to talk about this when I get into the strategies, but when you have your to-do list, you have something written down, and you can focus on getting at least one major thing done rather than thinking about, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to do that, and then leaving it to chance that you'll actually get it done. So, increasing productivity or getting things done, it doesn't really require a lot of extra work or more hours. It just really takes focus and developing habits that are focused on being productive and getting the things done that you need to get done. So are you finding this helpful so far? Again, I said it's not going to be anything profound, but just helping us to revisit and remember, just give us a reminder of the things that we can do to get done. It looks like I missed a lot of comments, so let me just get caught up. Organized chaos. That's a lot of entrepreneurs' problems, especially small businesses. Yeah, time blocking is a really good habit to start, Sharonda, um, because you set aside that time to get specific things done. But the challenge for us is actually doing that. If that's something that you are doing, I see you said you're thinking about it. Actually, do it. Try it for the next 21 days and see how that helps you in your business. You know, the nighttime is my time. That sounds like almost like a song, the one from the Cosby Show. The nighttime is the right time. Sharonda says that she's a night owl, but she gets up early. Ooh, Kiva, she gets up at 6 a.m. So that's a challenge for somebody, not for me, but for somebody. Get up at 6 a.m., get your day started, and it really helps. Yes, that is important. She says that she has items that come from China. Another reason to, or probably one of the most important reasons to get up early is if your business requires you to communicate or collaborate with people who only work 8 to 5, and you need to be available to talk to them on the phone, answer their emails, or whatever it is that you all do to conduct business. So if you are a night owl and you don't get up until 12 or 1 o'clock, most of the day is gone, and a lot of those people will be deep into their days. So you want to, that's another thing to consider, is actually who you're working with or how you work, how you spend your work day. So getting into the strategies, some of the strategies, and these strategies you can also make these habits, or they can help you with some of the habits that you want to develop to help you to become more productive, and I'm going to just say to really get more done, because we're not doing what we're supposed to do. You already know how I feel about the way productivity is being taught now, is, get as much as you can done in fewer hours. We don't want to do that because we don't want to stress ourselves out. We really want to focus on getting the things done that we set out to do. Whatever our goals were, we want to make sure that we're taking daily actions to get our goals, to reach our goals. And we want to do that with as little procrastination or distraction as possible. So when we're looking at the strategies to improve our productivity, we're looking at setting goals, something that I mentioned, setting goals and productivity targets. So when you have goals, you actually are able to focus your energy on those. You're not just doing things randomly or haphazardly. You actually have a set of goals that you're following, and you want to take those goals and not just look at that big picture, but you want to break your goals down into milestones, then break those milestones down into smaller tasks, and then commit to getting those tasks done by a specific deadline. And that will help you to get, I don't know what you had planned for 2020, but I had a lot planned, and I'm getting into the rhythm. And I never really let the pandemic slow me down, but I'm looking at the bigger things and really putting more time into getting the things done so that I can have everything that I plan to accomplish for 2020, have all of that accomplished, or most of it accomplished by the end of the year. So looking at your goals, keeping a planner, and basically, writing it down, because if it's not written, it's not real. We can say all day what we're going to do, but if we don't have it visually, and then writing things down anyway helps with memory, and helps you to really connect with the goal and be more motivated to get it done. Putting important things first. We talked about prioritizing before, but making sure that you put the important things first. You want to prioritize your important task. We all have the same number of hours in a day, and it's easy to feel like we have the time to do it, and because we feel like that, we tend to waste time. But you want to put the most important things that you have to do first. Put those things first, your critical task, and then you want to deprioritize the other things that are basically just time wasters. So we all fall into the traps of doing the easy things first, because it makes us feel like we have actually done something. It makes us feel like we're getting work done because we're busy. If we are busy, we feel like we're being productive, when actually you're not doing anything to move the needle to reach your goals. So a trick that you can use is to number your task. Write down the things that you want to do if you're making out a to-do list, and number your task in order of importance, 1 through 3. So you'll give the most important task 1s, the next important task 2s, and then 3s. And then you want to focus on the 1s, prioritize those, get the 1s done. Then you'll move on to the 2s once you're done with all of the 1s. And then when you get to the 3s, evaluate those to see if that's something that you really need to do, or maybe you can eliminate it or delegate. Look at getting someone else to do it if you have someone on your team, or if it's someone that you work with that can focus on that task. Try to move that on to someone else, and we'll find that a lot of the 3s that we have are things that are really, they're wishful thinking, not really things that we need to do or that we must get done. The next thing is maintaining your work environment. We already talked about keeping your desk free of clutter, but your work environment, period, your office, where you do your work, try to have a dedicated space to do that if you work from home. And make sure that you can focus on your work without distractions. If you work in an office with other people, you may have to set boundaries and set your desk up in a way that you're not being distracted by other people. And then the desk itself, make sure, as we said before, is set up so that it facilitates productivity for you. It's free of clutter. You have the things that you need to get your work done and to get the task done. The next thing is to use the 80-20 rule, and let me know in the comments if you are if any of this is helpful to you. If you're already planning, you already know what you're going to do. We have a couple of more things, so don't commit just yet. Don't commit to anything just yet, but just let me know if this is helpful to you. But the 80-20 rule refers to how 80% of our output is done by 20% of our efforts. And that means that the remaining 20% is achieved by 80% effort. So basically spending too much time and doing too little work. That 80% is usually just that busy work that I talked about, fake researching on the internet, going down those rabbit holes, and not really accomplishing anything. So you want to let go of the little details that nobody is tracking or keeping up with but you. Nobody knows what you're doing but you, because you're filling gaps to make yourself feel like you are being productive. But you want to focus your time and energy on actually producing that 80% of results with the 20% effort. So spend all of your time and effort on the important things that are going to help you to achieve what it is that you're trying to achieve. And then another strategy is having a separate list for incoming tasks. So whether you work in an office with other people or if you work from home, there are going to be distractions. There are always going to be things coming at you, new things that you can do, new ideas. So we want to avoid the shiny objects and letting somebody else's poor planning become our priorities, because we know that people will always wait until other people wait till the last minute, and then they want us to rearrange our days to get the things done that they need to have done. So what is helpful is throughout your day, as you receive, these emails from people, phone calls, or people just dropping by your desk with random things that they feel like they need to have done, just make a list of it. Don't stop doing what you've already prioritized. Make a list of it, and then you can schedule some time at the end of your day to look at this list and see what it is you can get done in that day, or put on your list for the next day to get done. And then finally, you want to know your motivation triggers. What it is that inspires you to be productive, what inspires you or motivates you to get things done. And that can be different for everybody. It can be rewards, treating yourself, once you finish a major project or you complete a task, whether it's getting a soft drink, taking a break, if it's a major goal or accomplishment, buying something nice for yourself. You can be motivated just by hitting your milestones because you feel like you're getting things done. The same with seeing your to-do list get shorter, whether you're crossing things out or highlighting them as you go. That can be something that motivates you, seeing how many things you can check off for the day. Your own personal or professional growth. The more you get into your work and meeting your goals, you're going to grow personally and professionally. Is that something that motivates you, seeing how far you've come from a certain point, maybe the beginning of the year or the beginning of the quarter? New opportunities, getting your work done or getting the things done that you have planned to do can open up new doors for you. Is that something that will motivate you to get your work done? It could just be the challenge. Whether you set challenges for yourself or you challenge somebody else to see who can achieve a goal first, or who can get to a certain milestone, or whether that's sales or a number of clients, whatever those goals are, you can challenge yourself to reach those. And then accountability. Are you motivated by having an accountability partner, or even holding yourself accountable to getting things done that you committed to getting done? If you find that productivity is an issue for you, you consider incorporating these strategies or habits. And like I said, that they kind of go hand in hand. Even with these strategies, making them habits can also help you to become more productive and get things done. And one of the things for me, because and I see this a lot, not just for myself but other people who work from home, but you want to treat your day like a work day. So if that's getting up and getting completely dressed, if you are, a woman and doing your makeup, doing your hair, just getting up and treating your day like a work day and not just a day hanging out at home. That's something that I find that helps me get work done as well. So make a commitment to crush procrastination. We want to take this next 5 months to get done all of the things that we set out to do at the beginning of the year. And what I want you to do, let me know right now before we get off what you are committing to do, at least one thing that you're committing to do to crush procrastination and move forward with your goals. But I also want you to, when you get off this post, when we end this training, before you leave the group, make your own post letting me know, letting everybody in the group know what you're committed to, the one thing that you're committed to doing this week to help you get stuff done, and then consider focusing on that one thing for the next 21 to 30 days. And when you make that post, we can all rally behind you, give you the support and the encouragement you need to stick to it and get things done. So that is all I have today. Thank you for showing up again for this week's training. And we will, if you're watching the replay, just drop the comment or hashtag replay in the comments so that we know that you have watched it. And also, if you're watching the replay, we want you also to make a post, your own post in the group, letting us know the one thing that you're going to commit to for the rest of the week to get things done in your business. So have a great day. And if you have any questions, drop those in the comments so that I can see them and take the time to answer those personally. So have a good day and enjoy the rest of your week.